Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Cerner Hacks. This is a special edition for the staff at Lionsgate. This video is talking about special intervention procedures that are done in the radiology suite and how we enter them. It's not as straightforward as you think, so stay tuned. Welcome back. So a few months ago, Mark Madden and his staff at the Radiology Department were nice enough to give the hospitalists a introduction to ordering procedures through Cerner. It's interesting, a lot of us were doing this already for the last couple of years, but we were finding out we were doing this all wrong. So today I'd like to share with you what Mark shared with us that other day. And first of all, I'd like to talk about the radiology department and how they're set up. So there's 4 or 5 different work areas in the radiology department, and only one of these stations is the interventional radiology department. There's a specific printer down there. So if you order something incorrectly, it'll print off to the wrong printer downstairs, and the interventional radiology department won't even know that you ordered that. So to avoid those issues, this is what they shared with us that day. First of all, we can see we're in the quick order screen. We want a new order entry, and we're going to go into the specific order screen. So I pick that big plus sign, and here we are into the order screen. We'll type in MI, that stands for medical imaging, and we're going to press return. This is a very abbreviated list of all the MI procedures, and a more complete list is when you press the return button, and here we are. Most of the time we want to aspirate joints or abscesses, and that's where we would put in orders for aspiration. The other things we might do are drainage procedures. Let's pick this one, the image guided drainage, and we'll click done. So let's say we want to do a thoracentesis. What I understand is that if there hasn't been labs processed that day, we want to do that stat, particularly if you want that done the same day. So the CBC, INR, and PTT, for some reason defaulted to urgent, but we're going to put that to stat. So we're going to right click and modify and change these to stat. Okay. So we talked about those different printers down in the radiology suite. The one that we want to print to is the IR department, and I understand the ultrasound drainage ones will go to that correct printer, and the IR procedures will go to that right printer. For some reason, the CT orders down here do not go to that printer. So one would think that if we want a thoracentesis that we would do ultrasound thoracentesis. However, this is not the correct way of doing it. We want the ultrasound drainage of either bilateral right or left chest here. The reason is if you pick one of these, ultrasound paracentesis or thoracentesis, that these don't get billed properly through the billings department. So they prefer us to pick the ultrasound drainage chest left, right, or bilateral, or ultrasound drainage abdomen abscess, which is a paracentesis. So let's say we want to do a ultrasound drainage left chest. If you want it to be done the same day, we want to change from routine to urgent. So we would right click, modify, and priority would be urgent, and then they'll try to get it done the same day if possible. Let's say rule out empyema. When they ask if patients are taking anticoagulants or antiplatelets, I thought DVT prophylaxis does not count, but it does. So most inpatients are taking DVT prophylaxis, so the answer to this is yes. If there's anything specific that you want the scheduler to know, make sure you put that into here. Some people have been putting it into the order comments section. Apparently if you do that, that does not get printed off, so do not put order comments into this area, but rather the special instructions area. And lastly, before you sign out of that, at the very bottom here is the fluid testing, which we oftentimes want to do when we're doing a paracentesis or thoracentesis specifically. So here we would want a pleural fluid testing, and this gets into their own sub-power plan, and we would specify the area by right-clicking, modify, pleural fluid, specify site, left chest, obviously. And we might want to pick a few more of these, which includes the cell count, the glucose, LGH, fluid, and culture. When they want to specify site, we'll go into modify, and we're going to say left chest, and we're going to do orders per signature. So we'll sign off on that, and there you have it. So to recap, when we're ordering new procedures, go into order entry, we type in MI, we'll press enter, we'll bring up this list of more complete procedures. We'll click on aspiration, Remember, change that to STAT if you want the procedure done the same day. Remember to select the ultrasound guided procedures or the IR, interventional radiology procedures. I'm uncertain whether or not the fluoroscopy or CT procedures will get to the right printer, so don't choose those. And at the very bottom, make sure you select the subgroup of fluid analysis that you want. We want to specify the site and check off anything else you need. And then we go order printed signature, and then we'll sign that off. Okay? The last thing they shared with us is about the anticoagulation around the time of procedure. I understand if the patient is on heparin infusions, this should be stopped 4 to 5 hours prior to the procedure. Anticoagulants, there is a special algorithm that I'll include in the notes of this video. It will indicate when we should stop DVT prophylaxis or other anticoagulants before procedures and how soon to start them after those procedures. Last thing is that if you can't find a procedure under MI, the other thing you can try is IR. There's a whole host of procedures under here, and when you press the enter, it will only show you procedures from A to C. For example, kyphoplasty is found under vertebroplasty. Also under IR are angiograms and venograms, and IVC insertion and removals. Understand for port removals and IVC filter removals, they tend to book these procedures at an outpatient, and if you're not sure how to do that, you can call up the radiology department. In fact, if you have any questions about any of your procedures that you're wanting to be done, make sure you contact the interventional radiology nurse at extension 4426. So that's one that you can tattoo on your arm. They're the ones who know exactly what needs to be ordered and how to do it properly. And even to this day, I'm using that extension quite a bit. So hopefully that's been helpful, you guys. Take care out there.